What's going on, everybody? B Sky here with you. It's Thursday. We got Thursday night football coming up. We got the Miami Dolphins on the road against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Not a very eventful game, but there could be some fantasy relevant players. So we're going to go over some starts, some sits in this matchup, throw in a sleeper, and we'll get into some injury concerns. Wednesday's injury report came out, so there's a lot of big name players that are missing practice. So before we get into all this stuff, let me just drop the logo. What's going on, everybody? Welcome in. It's a beautiful Thursday morning, and we're going over the matchup. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars. We got the Miami Dolphins. This is a game that could be great or it could be horrible, plain and simple. So before we get into today's content, don't forget, like the video, subscribe, hit the thumb, hit the bell, all that good stuff. We're here for all your fantasy content throughout the 2020 NFL season. So let's get into some injury news. Off the bat, Julio Jones. You saw last week, injured in the game. You could tell he just couldn't run effectively. They said he re-aggravated his hamstring injury that was kind of under the radar for everybody. It wasn't really mentioned in the injury report last week. So now, coming into this week, Wednesday's practice report came out. He misses it, of course. So Julio's the type of player that will play through injury. So I'm not really concerned with that. Hopefully he doesn't get held out of the game or is limited to some capacity. I mean, he's a top 5 receiver. It's hard for you to find a place on your bench for him if you own him. So if he's playing, you almost have to have him in there. So they are playing the Chicago Bears. Tough matchup, but look for Julio later in the week. Just watch that injury report. So Davante Adams, another player that was in and out of the lineup last week with the same injury, a hamstring injury. So this is a guy you got to keep an eye on throughout the week. They're saying the Packers are very cautious with injuries as it is, so you might see Davante Adams miss a game. Now, Kenny Golladay. He returned to practice. They were saying after week 2 that he was pretty much a surefire to go in week 3, and we see it. Full practice on Wednesday. Kenny Golladay should be good to go to make his NFL season debut, and hopefully it's a good one. So then, Chris Godwin, already passed concussion protocol because he got placed late in the week last week. That's kind of why he got held out. He should be good to go. So a couple other big names. Michael Thomas still sitting out practice with an ankle. We got A.J. Brown. He's sitting out practice. Got the bruised knee. He's possible to miss the game also. Michael Thomas, without a doubt, probably will miss the game. DJ Chark. This is a guy that's supposed to go tonight. Questionable with the chest injury. Now, he did get 2 limited practices in. I assume we could see him out there. But the way the Jacksonville offense has been running so efficiently, who really knows? I'm sure he'll be active. If you got him on your roster, I'm probably firing him up either way. So, and then Sterling Shepard got put on the IR this week with the turf toe injury. That helps Darius Slayton, but also hurts Darius Slayton. So I like Darius Slayton, obviously, but coming into this week playing San Francisco 49ers, there's probably going to be guys out there with crutches chasing him around. So Sterling Shepard on IR, he's arguably one of those guys you might be dropping this week. So, and then Kittle. Kittle saying he's practicing, but they're playing once again in MetLife. The turf is horrible. They're probably going to hold him out regardless. So definitely look for other options there. So we can get into tonight's matchup. We got Miami Dolphins on the road against Jacksonville. And both these teams were coming into this season looking at being bottom 5 in the league, period. So Miami Dolphins has their schedule's unreal how strong it is. They played the Patriots. They played the Buffalo Bills already this season. So it's going to be tough. Now, can Miami beat Jacksonville tonight? Absolutely. Jacksonville's defense is completely rebuilding. Their whole offense, their whole team in general is rebuilding. But the offense is surprisingly efficient. Gardner Minshew, there was a lot of talks of how well he could play coming into this year. And he's shown it. Back-to-back games with 3 touchdowns each. Just barely lost to Tennessee last week on a tip drill interception. He's got 2 interceptions on the season, both on tip drills. But my starts in this game for Miami. I worry that this game, because they're two bottom 5 teams, at least on offense and defense. I mean, they're both very shaky at best. This could be a lot of points scored or very little points scored. So I'm more leaning toward the higher points total. So Miami. Ryan Fitzpatrick had a great week last week. I think I could see the same thing this week going against the Jacksonville defense that's been not that great, giving up a lot of fantasy points. So a lot of points in general. So I like Ryan Fitzpatrick in this game. I also like Devontae Parker if he's healthy. He's another guy that was questionable coming into tonight with a hamstring. He did come out play last week. He got a touchdown, so I'm firing him up if I have to there. Mike Gesicki coming off a huge game, 130 yards and a touchdown. Jacksonville has given up a lot of fantasy points to the tight end position already this week. So I'm firing up Gesicki, and I got a sleeper in this game. It's going to be Myles Gaskin. I think in negative game script, he could be efficient enough against a terrible Jacksonville defense to get you 10 to 15 points. He's a possible flex guy. So Preston Williams, he just hasn't shown enough to me to be able to be a viable starter at all right now. So those are my starts on the Miami side of the ball. On Jacksonville side of the ball, now Gardner Minshew, he's been great. 3 touchdowns back-to-back games, 20-plus fantasy points. There's no way you can not fire him up against a Miami defense that's been torched. It's plain and simple. Cam Newton, 2 rushing touchdowns in week 1. Josh Allen, 400 passing yards, 4 touchdowns last week against these Dolphins. So I'm firing up Gardner Minshew. I'm obviously firing up DJ Chark. Keelan Cole, definitely a flex guy. And I like Laviska Shenault if Chark happens to miss the game. Now, I think Chark is going to be ready to play, but if he doesn't, I would be firing up Laviska Shenault all day. I mean, he's getting the ball in the backfield. He's lining up for routes. He's like a very nice utility player and could find a splash this week especially. So, James Robinson, I'm on the fence with. Absolutely great last week. 100 yards in his first NFL career touchdown. He looks pretty good. Now, Miami Dolphins, they haven't given up that many rushing yards to the running back position. They've actually been more leaning towards giving it up to the quarterback. I mean, you see with Josh Allen, his mobility. You already know with Cam. So I worry about James Robinson getting, 100 yards and a touchdown, but it's possible. I mean, the guy's a 3-down back who's getting a lot of the work, period. I mean, he's gotten almost every carry in the backfield so far this season. So if you got to start James Robinson, I absolutely understand. It should be a great spot. Could be a lot of points scored. I got Jacksonville winning the game, and it should be hopefully exciting. So that's been the Thursday injury report and Thursday night preview. Hopefully your lineup's set, you're ready to go, and you pull out the W this week. So for first 4 downs, it's B. Scott, and I'm out.